For my underdogs, the ones willing to pay the cost. Even when we're up, we gotta take a loss. Underdogs are always against the odds. I'ma use this opportunity to do it for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. Yeah, my underdogs.
Welcome back to another episode of the Rec Center Podcast. We're going to ask y'all for one small favor. We got way more views than we have subscribers, so that means some people are enjoying our content and not subscribing, which is fine. But if you do enjoy our content on a regular basis, go ahead and click that subscribe button under the video. Now that we got that out the way, I'm Kenny Edwards, joined by my co-host Lorenzo Parham. What's good?
What's going on, Ken, man? Hey, Ken, it's been a while since we recorded, man. It seems
bro,
like it's been a minute. We've been on vacation, graduation, birthdays, man. It's been a minute, man. So our last guest, man, I want to thank Aaron Early for his story, man. His story is really deep, got a lot of traction, man. I had the purple and gold on then. Within saddened hearts, I got to wear the purple and gold again today. Our beloved coach Delton Edwards passed away last night, man. So rest
man.
Man. Also, I felt let me bring this purple and gold out today, man. We're going to do next week. We're going to do a tribute episode to Delton Edwards. All of you guys that watch the podcast that played for Coach Edwards, was inspired by Coach Edwards, tap in with us, man. We would love to hear some Coach Edwards story that you got with him, man. So thank you for all you guys. Thank you to Coach D for everything he did for me personally, right? But, you know, we got a guest on here today, good friend of mine who came up through the old Babe Ruth trenches, you know, the old Fremont trenches with me, man, was part of the first time I ever played football. He was one of my teammates, you know. And this guy don't get enough love when we talk about home run hitters, Ken, right? We hear the Tony Johnsons, the Michael Woodlocks, we hear Antoine Thomason. But if you played and you had the pitch on that mound against Keian Davis, man, I'm telling you, you're throwing four curveballs. Take your base if y'all walk you, Kiki. I don't care. You're just not hitting me out, right? You're just not hitting me out. Hey, Keian Davis, man, welcome to the podcast, bro.
Man, glad to be here, man. Love you guys for the invite.
Hey, Kiki, man, we talk all the time about, man, you starting with Babe Ruth, and I remember the first time hearing your name in the Babe Ruth, it wasn't on no like super raw, dominant ass team. It was like Children's Hospital or something, right? Like, hey, I think even on Children's Hospital, you was the best kid. You was the best kid in Children's Hospital majors. I think he was only 10 years old at the time.
10 years old,
right?
bro. Yeah.
Children's, I forgot about Children's.
How did you end up? Break this down, man? How you end up on Children's Hospital, and who the hell recruited you away from them and put you on funding, right? Break that down for us. How did that happen?
All right, check. Sundays, man. You know, I always used to go play balls with my dudes from you know, I grew up on 73rd and Wells Street. So we always used to go up like to Markham Elementary and play ball. So, you know, but Sundays I was in church, you know. I grew up kind of naive, man. I didn't even know they had like a league right around the corner, Babe Ruth League, you know. So I had got out of church one Sunday, and I seen a couple of my boys walking. Actually, Perry Pugh from he went to
Berkeley High.
Perry Pugh and my boy Shannon, and they had the Children's Hospital outfit on, right? So I see them. I say, man, you know, they came down the street with the gray with the red pinstripes. You know what I mean? So I see them. I'm like, man, what y'all doing? Where y'all going? They're like, man, we finna go play. So I say, okay, how I sign up? You know what I mean? Because that day was good. So I knew I had what it took to play on the team. They had me come up to Greenman after I got out of service. I went up there. Moms took me up there. So coach, I think his name was Coach Moore. Yeah, he was a Children's Hospital coach. You know, we had a real good connection with 4-H's. And that's when I actually met my boy Andre O'Neal too, because he used to play with the 4-H's up there. So yeah, man. So Coach Moore, I got up there. He told me I was too young because I was only 10 years old, but man, they did something to get me in there, man. So I got out there, threw the ball, man. He said I could play. The rest is history. You know. But to get the fudging, man. I'm sitting in the stands, you know, because I used to be a dreamer all by myself, man, just watching all the games. So I'm sitting in the stands, and Coach Jamil approached me. So I guess he had watched me play up on Children's, and he was asking me what I was doing for the next year. He asked me, did I want to come play for them? And that was like the first and the only time I heard from him. And it just so happened that Marvin Thomas, well, you know Marv, Pac-Man, rest in peace. You know, me and Marv was best friends. So he hollered at me and he told me he wanted me to come out and play for them. And I'm like, all right, come play for y'all. It just so happened it was Fudge and it was Coach Jamil who I was coming out there to play for too. So it all, you know, came full circle. And man, it was on Fudge and Dentistry that
So it went from getting 10-run rule to 10-run ruling people.
Man, you know it. That's a life-changing event right there.
Hey, Kiki, here's the thing, you know, and we talk about this all the time, man, because the fact that you played majors at 10,
right?
I'm like, hey, dude, is he too fucking old to be playing on our when we 12? Is he too old, right? He throwing
my third year.
Throwing just as hard as Jimmy. He hitting people out the park. Is he too fucking old, right? Then I realized you weren't too old. You just played that extra year. What would Kiki have a legend status if he stayed at Children's Hospital?
You know who I'd probably say?
Like, what was the big difference for you going from Children's Hospital to Fudging?
It actually wasn't no difference, man. It was just, you know, just playing with my folks, you know, playing with Marv and Mike and out there with
Kiki. Let me tell you why I call bullshit on that.
All right, talk to me.
It go from you being in an all-star. So back then it was we had every
team
division,
was represented.
Every division had an all-star, right?
Yeah, right.
So it was National 1, National 2, American, and Continental, right?
Right.
I don't care how good you were. If you were on a Continental All-Star, we knew you were just about to play in the thing and not make it out of that tournament, right? Now you come to Fudging and you in that National 2 era.
Hey, you right.
Our All-Star team is like, we got you, Pal, Sean back catcher for an All-Stars.
Mm-hmm.
It become a more of a different type of talent, right? So I'm like, that makes a lot different because that brought on the recruiting to now we prep. We keep our all-star team and just move them to our prep team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you playing Continental, like Keian said, you go from getting 10-run ruled every week to
10-run ruling.
You to 10-run ruling. That's a big difference right there, man. So that's why I say, that's kind of bullshit because now you go from this is what you went from seeing at Continental. People knowing they go 10-run rule you, they're not throwing their ace pitcher at you, right?
Yeah,
now you come to Fudging and you seeing
everybody,
Rollins, Skyline, you seeing the ace pitcher every week, right?
And there's a crowd in there, you know. When you play
there's a crowd.
Children, I ain't nobody. You got the 9 o'clock in the morning game.
Man, I forgot Children's Hospital was Continental, man.
Kiki, who was the first person you hit out, man? I remember when it made sense. Like everybody, like, hey, Kiki hit him to the. I don't know if Skyline was the first person you hit out, but I remember it was the talk of Babe Ruth when you did hit Skyline out. Who was the first person you hit out?
It was when I was 11. We was playing against Bill Wright.
Okay.
And, I think his name might have been. He was a big, tall dude, man. It might have been Joe. I can't remember exactly what his name was, man, but it was a big, tall dude from Bill Wright, man. I remember because they had just changed my batting stance a little bit, and they made me turn in a little bit with my front foot in front of my back foot. You know what I mean? So I was hitting a lot of stuff to right field, man. I just caught him.
Hold on, you hit him out.
Oppo.
Yeah, Oppo.
Hey, what's that feeling like? I never went out of Greenman.
Man, it's surreal, you know, especially when it's your first one. You know, you don't know if you want to speed around the bases or jog around the bases. You know?
Lo, you ever went out?
Hell no, I never go out. I hit my first home run. It is crazy because me and rest in peace Pac-Man, Kiki just said rest in peace Pac-Man, all-stars, we playing all-stars our 15-year-old year in Sacramento, right? There are two fields, Ken. It's a field without a fence then there's the field with the fence, right? The day I hit my home run, it wasn't no fence. So I literally had to sprint around the bases, right? Later on that night, Pac-Man hit his home run out of the field with the fence,
With the
right?
fence, yeah.
His first home, it was both of our first home runs ever. We hit dinger shots, our first home runs ever. I'm like, he got to jog around the bases, like Kiki said. I'm over here running. Yeah. I'm over here running crackhead speed
inside the park.
Around the bases.
Hey, I never heard the last of that home run from Marv either, baby. Hey, that was his only one ever.
He caught him one.
Yeah, he did.
Kiki, when we talk about the rec center, man, what rec center did you come up playing at when you were younger? Even before you started playing Children's Hospital, were you involved in any rec center play?
Not too much. I mean, I just used to go. I'd go to the 85th Boys and Girls Club, and I go to the Boys and Girls Club over there off of Marina every now and then, you know. But I was never fully invested in one of them clubs. You know, I was pretty much doing other stuff. We did a lot of playing. Yeah, we did a lot of playing on the block. You know what I mean? We had a lot of kids on our block, and there was a lot of kids on the other block. It's way different now, you know, because all the kids was outside playing with each other. Absolutely. And we'll form our whole little squad. And we'll go, you know, I was on Wells Street. We'll go play Lockwood, and we'll go play Fresno down there. And they all had they squad from their street. So
were y'all going to play at Arroyo, or was they just in the middle of the street batting in the middle of the street strikeout games?
Most of the time we'd go to Markham Elementary.
Oh, right over there by
I'm gonna be on that cement.
Okay.
No, not by McConnell. It's right off of 73rd, right? You know.
Oh, that's cool.
Holiday and Krause.
Right. Okay, that's what's up. Hey, so I know you end up getting to this football guy, right? And that was like when I played first football. Did you play youth football at all, or was Fremont your first time playing football?
I played 1 year at Dynamites.
How old were you?
I was 11, but I was when I got out there, I was a few pounds heavier than everybody, you know, because I was stocky when I was young. So I got out there, I was like 100. That's back when junior midgets used to be the limit with 120 pounds, you know, and I was like 124 with no fat though. So the whole time they got me out there running laps with the bag on, I didn't lose no weight. So they pushed me up to varsity, and I'm running tailback on
midgets.
On midgets. Yeah, they pushed me up to midgets, my bad. But I'm running tailback on junior midgets. And when I went to midgets, they already had their squad. You know, they had Arthur Young out there, and my boy Mike was at tailback. Man, they had Willie Fanua back there at linebacker.
You was on that team with them, and you was on the 11?
I was 11 on that team, Lo. So, man, the next year, they had me on D-line, though, so I didn't get much playing time. You know what I mean? They just threw me in there. But every time we going through the hidden drills, I'm coming up, I'm running the ball, we smacking, and every time the coach like, that's going to be my running back next year, you know? But, boy, next year I got, you know, the limit, I think the weight limit was 140. I think I came in at 149, but still no body fat. You know what I mean? Just grew. So they was like, you know, you gonna try to lose them 9 pounds? I was like, absolutely not. Nah, so I waited it out the 10th grade year, man. That was truly my first year of football.
Why you didn't play 9th grade year?
Just not even knowing that you can play 9th grade year.
Because you was going to Westlake still.
Yeah.
You're still at Westlake. Okay.
Still at Westlake.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because I didn't know you could do that either. I mean, I know now.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Grade,
I
didn't
had
know
no
you
idea.
could go play for high school.
Oh yeah. We knew because I played at 9th grade. I wasn't going to Fremont. I was going to I went to Frick King. I went to some everywhere that year. Right?
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but our whole team was like that. Rob Johnson, he was a 9th grader.
My Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Rob,
we got to get Big Daddy on too.
Man, Rob ain't gonna get on here.
Rob was my competition. We used to battle at third.
Oh yeah, no,
I ain't seen Rob since he umpired one of my games not too long ago.
He's still the same height.
That's my guy, man. Hey, but Kiki, so after you go to this fudging year, your 12-year-old, we talking 12-year-old now, right? This after. Hold on, I don't want to mistake you. I know you probably pitched against Allen Temple. I know you hit Skyline out, right?
Shiloh, not
Shiloh.
Shiloh, but Skyline.
Skyline. You hit Skyline out.
Skyline,
You hit Skyline out. And I wasn't at the game. Did Ray Young hit you out, or did Ray Young hit somebody else out, or did Ray Young hit nobody out? I remember Ray Young hitting somebody out. I don't know if it was Marv.
I think it was Marv. I think it was Marv. It wasn't me. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Ray Young was a motherfucker. I remember we played. Remember our All-Star.
Man,
Daddy long legs. That's what
hey, you talking about somebody look like they too old to be playing.
Right.
he was already 6'5" at 20 years old. Shit.
So we remember Kiki when Ray Young's baseball career ended. Do you remember the day when he pulled his hamstring? Where we was playing at? I think we was playing in Roner Park. We playing in Roner Park, and this was one of the craziest All-Star teams we had. We got White Mike on our All-Star team. White Mike and Cam, White Mike and Abdul beefing. Cam, crazy All-Star. Ray Young pulled his hamstring, and he's done with football, baseball all together, right? Like whoever it is, St. Joe's, whoever said, "Hey, partner, you got to cut this baseball shit out or something."
Hey, Ray was raw though.
Ray was the truth, bro.
Ray was the truth.
Hey, Kiki,
but he couldn't hit my slider.
Hold on, dude. You had a slider at 12?
Fastball, this dude had maybe a knuckle. This dude had a slider.
You had a slider at 12?
Of 60 feet.
A slider at 12, bro.
Hold on. Did you need to throw a slider? You was already throwing hella hard.
But I was a wild child, man. I had no aim. Watch out.
Hey, so we had this thing. I was telling Ken about. I'm like, hey, when we talk about not telling people our Kiki and his home run thing, correct me if I'm wrong. We on 13, we playing pal together, right? And you catch one. I don't know who you hit deep. Was it a one bounce to the gate by Dome, or was it two bounces? Kiki, I knew I wasn't tripping. Like,
that's a bomb, bro.
You remember who that was off of?
Bomb.
Who was it?
That was off of Renee.
Renee, light skinned Renee.
Renee,
Hey,
man,
Kiki,
I had his number like 777-9311. All the way through majors.
Hey, and when he catch that, Kiki, like Ken, you gotta understand what I'm saying. The field is literally 400 feet in left field.
No. Left field is a bomb. That's like
that's a bomb.
That's more than 400. It got to be more than 5.
Hey,
I still remember how that ball looked in my head, man. It went golf ball size, man.
It went golf ball. Hey, Ken,
left field agreement is a shot.
Hey, Ken, and the reason I want to say two bounces because I still can't believe this motherfucker went one bounce to the gate in Dome, right? That's
crazy,
hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
Hey, shout out Renee, man. Hey, but Renee used to try to throw too, though, man. He used to try to go.
Yeah, he could throw.
When you throw the fastball, and then that fastball got some heat on it and it meets power, pitcher provides most of the distance.
Yeah, Renee just gave me his number early, you know, like around 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? He just call me anytime. You know?
Hey, that's one thing we do, and when you come to Oakland Babe Ruth, getting hit out was like getting hit bomb is like you can't live that down.
Like getting dunked on.
I can literally name the people that hit me out, right?
Same here.
I can name the two people that hit me out. Abdul being one, and not two Bob, because two Bob was hitting shots on me, but Rodney that played Cobra, Spray Martin.
I forgot about Rodney.
Yeah,
I forgot about Rodney.
Rodney called me on 14-15 that he was playing for Duvernay.
Did he?
He called
right field. No.
Hey, Abdul got me too. but it's San Leandro.
He got me at Meccano.
But Meccano is a short fence, though. I mean, it was a Meccano like 250.
And they both
he got me at the All-Star field.
Oh yeah, you got
Burrell.
San Leandro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey, so that's why. So like I got hit. Abdul caught a hanging curveball on me. You know what I'm saying? Kiki almost got me twice in majors. We were playing that Burkhalter.
Yeah, you remember that?
Burkhalter. He there was some deep ones. He like Kiki gets mad, like, damn, I've been trying to hit his ass out. They just
to the tennis courts or to the playground?
Hey,
No,
hey,
tennis court.
hey, y'all had a good center fielder, man. Trav used to run down
Trav
everything.
used to run it. Trav used to run it down. Rest in peace, Trav. Right.
Rest
But
in
Kiki
peace,
was
Trav.
trying me. Kiki, like I'm not a fear pitcher. Like I felt I could hold my own. Right. And I only had 2 pitches. But ego was like, "Hey man, I'm about to try to get one by Kiki." But I remember Coach Jackie telling Trav, "Back up, back up." Right? That's what playing with my ego the most at 12. I'm looking at Jackie like,
look at Jackie like, "Nigga,
what the
fuck
fuck you telling him to back up for?
I was like, what you mean?
What you mean? He ain't backing up. I'm about to throw this fool a couple of, get by on one time."
Yeah, shit,
And I
throw
threw
it
the
around.
fastball, and Trav just happened to be hella far back, Ken, and catch him out. But Kiki, I don't forget who took me deep, right?
Yeah,
Twice
nah,
I
you
got
can
hit.
never forget
Abdul
that.
called me, Rodney called me, and it was a left-hand pitcher out of San Leandro Ballpark in All Stars from Alameda. We played Alameda in All Stars. He caught me.
He got you too, huh?
At San Leandro, right?
He was raw.
He was raw.
I remember who you talking about. He was raw.
He caught me, right? You don't forget those dudes, man, that caught you. That's why I asked you, man, how many bodies you caught. I'm gonna say bodies. How many bodies you caught, right?
Man, I can't even tell you who all I hit out. I can tell you who hit me out. But I can't tell you everybody I hit out.
Who all got you? You know Abdul got you. Who else got
Abdul got me, and I can't remember that cat, man. He played for the Trojans. You remember the Trojans?
No, Marv. Marv ain't hit you out.
Marv hit me out, bro.
Marv hit you out?
No. You talking about Lefty Marv, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, it was it was when they came up to 14. I got hit out when we was 15 out of McConnell, man. But he hit me. He hit me to the first base dugout on the other field. First base dugout, man. It was a guy. It was a guy
that's
from
a bomb too.
I'm about to say it wasn't CC Sabathia, was it? Because I remember that year. I don't know if you guys was in it.
CC played Babe Ruth?
No, Allen Temple threw a tournament.
I remember that.
In the Allen Temple tournament, they bought Vallejo in, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
And CC pitched, Ken. First of all, dude might have been your age from our team. So I never forget this, bro. CC smacked the dude we had on our team named Clayton, right?
I remember Clayton.
Clayton, he hit Clayton. I'm talking about.
I remember Clayton.
Hey, the way he catch Clayton was like this. The third baseman on our team makes an error. We would have been out of the inning. Now, CC comes up to bat. CC catches him and hit him to the hoop courts at McConnell, right? And it's
when I say
it was a bomb, right? You know how everybody gathered on the mound and Clayton, we go talk to Clayton and he break down. Man, why everybody always making errors when I pitch?
That's when Clayton was coming into his own.
Hey, Clayton was cool.
But I thought Clayton was like my age.
So you might be he might be a year older than you.
Yeah, 1 year, yeah.
He
played prep with Jeff.
Drake. He's the twin them age. The twin too, right?
Yeah,
he's that age, right? And he got bombed and he like crying on the mound. Why everybody making errors when I pitch? Hey, dude, check this out. CC just hit your shit to the
nigga deep
to the hoop course, right? Hey, but that's how Babe Ruth was back then, man. It was an ego-driven league. You didn't want to get hit out, and you wanted to win, man. And that brought in the competitor in all of us, man. When we talk about it, it all started with Babe Ruth. So now we talk about going into high school. Kiki, what made you? Cause you coming from Westlake, what made you end up at Fremont? Why you didn't do the Oakland High or Skyline route?
Yeah, man.
Well, my mama wanted me to go to Oakland High because my older brother went to Oakland High. So I just wasn't feeling Ohio. So I was either about to do Tech. That's where I got sent to straight out of Westlake.
Hold on, you went to Tech?
To go get my papers. Yeah, so I went up there, grabbed my papers, and transferred to Fremont, mostly because we ended up moving to 68.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And this is in your 10th grade year. So this is the year now we playing football together, right? It's my first year playing football, and we got a really good team, right? We got a really good team. We beat everybody. OEL. We lose to Skyline 6-0 in the Mud Bowl, Rain Bowl. Did you realize how good you were in football back then? Your 10th grade, did you know it? Like because you set out from playing when you was 11 all the way up into playing 10th grade. Did you realize how good you were, or was you just like, man, I'm gonna play football to get ready for baseball season?
Man, honestly, I knew I could play, but the fundamental wise of the game, fundamentally, I wasn't integrated like that. You know what I mean? So I was, I still had, I never really lacked confidence or anything like that, but it was just more of, learning the game more and learning the things I can and cannot do on the field and stuff like that. So I went up 10th grade when I stepped on the field, man, I was fresh. I was green as they come, pretty much. I could play. We can go on the street and throw bombs all day, and I'm gonna burn you. But as far as getting on the field and lining up and knowing where everybody, man, I wasn't there yet.
Well, when was it? Because we talked about this, and I told Ken about this earlier. When was it that you was like, I'm doing football and I'm really good at it. Coach Denny knows I'm good at football, but baseball is my sport, right? Did it ever come a thing to where you switch from baseball being your sport to now football being your sport? Because your 10th grade year on the baseball team, you got Lou Fisher on your team. You got Lou on your team that's bringing some scouts out there, right?
Every time he pitched.
Every time he
lined up out there.
So did it ever become a thing where you start leaning more towards football, or even was baseball just still your sport?
Yeah, baseball is my sport all the way through high school. I didn't learn how much I truly loved it until the game I set out when we lost the match in the playoffs my senior year. And I cried like a baby.
In football.
Yeah.
And
that's when I knew I loved it just as much.
Okay. So what happened with, we gonna get into that later, because we hit you had DeAndre telling us the non-physical story and the injury.
Yeah.
I got E. Cole is telling us like, hey, E. Cole is fighting, dude. Why you just won't go get a physical, bro? Stop trying to take our win from us. I'm gonna hear your end of the story in a minute, right? So then, but we talking about 10th grade year, junior year. You're on your junior year. Y'all stacked. Y'all just flat out stacked on the football field, right? This is the Beatty senior year. This is the Skyline 6-0, 6-2 Super Bowl games, right?
Yeah.
What do you think changed in Coach Denny? Rest in peace to Coach Denny as well. You got a phone call, Kiki?
No, yeah.
Okay. So rest in peace to Coach Denny as well. What was it like that junior season coming into it when you got Dewey transferring in, you got Keian coming in, you got DeAndre coming in? What was it like that whole junior season on the football field for y'all?
It's funny you asked that, because I after 10th grade year, I had quit. Yeah, but I was gonna just focus on baseball. Plus, we was out in the All-Star every summer, All-Star, so they end up practicing before we even really got back home, So I had quit, man. I had went to a jamboree and watched everybody playing at jamboree, man. My blood got to flowing. And that next week I got back out there, and that's when I met Keian, because Keian was already at tailback when I got back out there. And DeAndre was at quarterback, So yeah, man, I was done, because I was just like, I'm gonna focus on baseball. I don't want no injuries. But I couldn't help myself, man.
Hey, that's crazy, because that's the reason I left and didn't come to Fremont, because I was playing baseball All-Stars that year. We going to Sacramento, we would Coach Silver. I didn't know nothing about football in the summertime, you know. So when I come back after I quit that Babe Ruth, I quit the All-Stars, like, hey, bro, I'm not fooling with Coach Scott. He playing me, right? So I leave and I go to football practice. Coach O'Neill was like, hey, Coach, hey, Lo, Denny said, you got to play JV again with me, yada, yada, yada. Denny goes in on me for not being there. Dude, you never understood. I didn't know. Now, one thing I wasn't about to do was play another year at JV. JV was the most horrible shit to us, right? It was cool, but
For sure, yeah.
shout out my big brothers, man. Lou Fish and James Thompson and all of that shit. But JV was the stepchild to varsity, right?
Oh,
I couldn't
definitely.
go through that. I couldn't go through that year again. Right? That's why
For
I
real.
left. I'm like, hey, you know what? Y'all just said I'm gonna be on JV. I'm not even about sticking this shit out. The next day, I go to tech practice. They accept me, and I'm like, hey, okay, cool. Let's transfer everything. I'm on varsity, right, coach? I ain't
Yeah.
playing JV. I ain't transferring all the way out here to play JV. So I go there, right? And I can see how you can make that decision. Like, dude, y'all got a whole ass team that's been practicing. I was doing baseball, right?
Yeah.
Good thing you stuck it out that year. What was your positions during that your junior year? What position you played? Because they had all kind of shit. I remember Eric McGowan being a corner. E. McGowan, Walter Abram, all of them dudes. What position would you play after you got back on the squad?
I was at tailback.
Tailback. Oh, you was one of the tailbacks.
Hey, Lo, you might not remember though when we got there in 10th grade, they instantly put me at quarterback because they was reading the papers about me throwing and shit.
Oh, for real?
So when we first got out there, they had me at quarterback, and then they just on the fluke put me at tail to just run some things during practice. You know, just put some bodies there, and I took one up the middle, and that was history.
Hey, dude, and I remember I'm trying to figure out what game you did that at tailback too. I remember we was playing somebody and you broke one, but it was like we had a good ass team too, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but they thought maybe your baseball arm was on some Lou Fisher type. They baseball players and they could just throw, throw 90 yard passes and shit, right? But
keep the same offense.
Hey. But
when I grabbed that football, man, that football was too big in my hands, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't throw this. Like, you give me one a little smaller, and I give it where you want it.
You're definitely a tailback, and we're gonna talk about that. So when you came into the OEL, even from playing one season of Dynamites, and for that, and I talk about this all the time. Keian say don't be bashful. Keian said I need to eliminate saying this on our show, man, but I can't. It's part of the Rec Center podcast, right? Keian, give me a person that you played against, baseball, football, OEL, that you felt was overrated. Now you can say me because I would have gave you the business regardless, whether you want to say me or not, right? You're a real right to be like, man, once Low transferred, he became overrated to me because but that's the age-old debate me and you have all the time, right? We talk about that all the time, but. Because you tried to say, we go get into that in a minute. Tell me who you felt was overrated.
Say you was
hey. No, I'm gonna keep it 100 too. You probably believe me on this one too, though. It was Antonio Thompson from Skyline. TT.
Oh,
with the gold teeth. Tom.
You from where I'm from? You know,
I went to Westlake with Tom, but what I was hearing about him and everything, I'm like, man, I've been playing with this boy for the last 3 years. Yeah, that's my dude though. But yeah, I thought Tone was overrated.
I'm gonna have to let Tone hear this, man, because I never want to admit it. He did. He ran me over in the rain. He trucked me in our mud game in the rain. So here's the thing, right? Our mud game in the rain. It's a muddy game at Merritt, Ken Cole. I'm at corner. He breaks one, and as I pull off the block, Ryan Fernandez blocking me. After I pull off the block, he's in my face.
Right there.
Right? Yeah. So he didn't truck me and keep running. He just trucked me. He fell forward and I fell sideways. So it was a truck. That's his. I'm not
much of a hitter myself, so I'm gonna give you that one and say it wasn't. Now if he would have, if you would have went back and he kept going,
no, ain't nobody. I'm grabbing legs and feet and socks and no, I'm not trucking me and keep running, right? But he got the best of me. But he lived that was his highlight of it, man. Yeah. And everybody, man, you got trucked by Tony Thompson. So I give you Tone Thompson.
Tone was raw though. Tone was raw.
I don't believe Tone ever played varsity at Skyline. No, I think him and Beam had got into some issues before he got to varsity. I think, I think so. And then it was like Tone was one of the ones that he was at Skyline, but he would have been better served if he played elsewhere as a running back. That's because Skyline was real running back heavy.
Yeah,
Now,
real deep. Uh-huh.
with him being from the 20s, if he was at Fremont or at Oakland High, then we'll hear his name all the
Yep.
time, right?
Mhm.
We hear his name all the time. But Skyline running back heavy. Tone did truck me, in a rainy day game. I'll give you that, Tone. Kiki thought it overrated because of what Kiki is active. I'm gonna give you gave me the truck stick.
Now what's
Nah,
the beef? Now what's the beef?
I just went through junior high with Tone. We was both at Westlake, you know what I mean? So from what I'm hearing, and then I play against him, you know what I mean? So he was balling. Obviously, he made his name playing against all the other teams, So, but Tone was raw. Tone always had game to him. He was up there at Chabot with me.
Before Ken asks his question, I know where he's going with it. Tell me someone you felt within the OEL was underrated. It could be somebody from y'all squad, somebody from another team that you felt was underrated.
You know who I thought was raw as hell? Eric McGowan.
E. McGowan. Right?
E-Mac, yeah.
I think this E-Mac was the streets had E-Mac. You know what I'm saying?
They did.
E-Mac was a really good athlete, but it was like E-Mac coming off the turf to practice, right? E-Mac coming off the turf to practice, man. E-Mac was a real bump and run corner. Remember, he didn't play off. He just played bump and run the whole time, and he was good, and he was physical. He was physical as hell. He just had that street shit, and he had the attitude. The attitude went along with it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how that played with Denny after Denny had this raw ass team. You know what I'm saying? It's like any coach. I could put up with your attitude when I don't got nobody to replace you. Now you give me that attitude, Keian, go get him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You get to coach more. E-Mac was good, man. He was, I would say, underrated, right? Because when you talk about the corners in his league that year that he played, Jay Charlins and all of them, he don't get enough pub at them, but E-Mac was a good corner. E-Mac was a really
so I just
corner.
forgot somebody else. And I put him over E-Mac as far as being underrated. Yeah, John Tatum, bro.
Oh, Tatum. We talked about Tatum. See, but Tatum I don't think Tatum was underrated. Tatum's name came up in the James Thompson episode, Ken. So Tatum came up. It was Keno Carson. Keno Carson left, then Tatum became. Tatum was a workhorse, right? He was undersized at free safety. He was.
But I seen him knock Tabiti out down there. I seen him knock Keek out. But I'm looking at this dude like this dude my size. And he coming up giving people smelling salt, bro. Wow.
He used to fly up from safety. One of the biggest things I saw in practice ever, when you just said both of them names, Keek and Tabiti. When they used to go head up in practice on JV, when I was on JV, watching them on VAR, and we all went to Bret Hart together, but watching them collide was like, hey, bro, Low, you sure you don't want to just be a baseball player though? Like,
man,
if this was required of you, like them two dudes going in like some straight wrecking balls.
Keek and Tabiti and Jamario and Tabiti when they went head up. Boy, that thing was loud.
During them.
I'm telling you.
Who was winning them battles? Who was winning them the more? Mario
they was
and
back
Tabiti.
And forth, bro. They was back and forth.
That's like two Rams going against each other.
Dude.
Man, I remember I got the best of Tabiti one time, but when I got up, I had to go to the sideline because my back was hurt. You know what I mean? But like you say, when Tom got you. After I was done, I was looking eye to eye with Tabiti like this. But boy, my back, that was the worst my back ever felt. After that, I was out for 2 weeks.
Man. So Ken, ask the question you wanted to ask, Ken.
What's the beef y'all got? Because it sounded like to me, y'all have talked about this, and Key, I think you overrated.
No. So Key, here's the thing. I'm gonna pull it back, right? So here's the thing. Now, Key, we both start his first year playing football, 10th grade was my first year playing football in 9th grade, right? But we played baseball all with each other, everything, right?
Yeah.
Keian thought he was faster than me. I'm like, Key, you faster than me. Now that's one thing you can't take from me, right? Give me that. I'm gonna give you the strength.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the strength. I'm gonna give you the tackling. I'm gonna give you everything, right? So, make a long story short, Ken, I leave and go to Tech. They beat our ass my 10th grade year. They beat us twice. Playoffs, regular season and Super Bowl by a lot, right? Now this next year, our junior year is Keian them senior year, right? And Denny is at all of our games, right? And Denny makes a statement one time in the paper that basically says, only people we got to worry about at Tech is Michael Denard and Lorenzo Parham, right? And he says that we are both guys that should be at Fremont, because T-Tone played at Fremont and I did JV starting at Fremont, right? Yeah. Grades come out, Ken. I'm ineligible. At the time, I'm on a tear. And this dude, who they go get to guard me type thing. So Denny put it out there, and they was like, hey, man, you know who's going to have to guard you? Kiki was going to shut you down, Lo. Bullshit. Bullshit. He wasn't going to shut me down unless they had Dewey over the top and Jay Webb over. Somebody had to be over the top. Kiki wasn't playing me one-on-one. And that's been a debate ever since. Would Kiki have played me without Dewey over the top or Jay Webb over the top?
All right, Kiki, now, what you say?
Hey, it wasn't no cover two. All right. I'm gonna run it like this. Every league we was in, I was always top 3 fastest, all the way from baseball to when we all the way from baseball to high school. So I just be thinking, like, when did Low get faster than me?
Absolutely. Listen to me. Absolutely. I would give you this. Let me tell you something. Hey, 100% all honesty. I didn't get really fast until the summer of my 10th grade year is when I took off, right? So baseball, Keian faster than me. Baseball, Keian faster. My first year at Fremont, Keian is faster than me, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My 10th grade year, right? I asked my homeboy, what do you do to get so fast? He tell me, bro, this is what I do. I run everywhere I go, right? So I used to go to Tech, right? He tell me run everywhere I go. I used to chase the bus on purpose, literally chase the bus, Ken, catch the bus, don't get on the bus, let the shit get a block away, chase it again, and I would do all of this from 39th until I get to Fruitvale. And then I would take the bus from Fruitvale to Tech, right?
That's
so
impressive.
I'm getting faster. That's what I'm doing to get faster. I'm chasing the bus everywhere I go. My granny asked me to go to the store for it, and I'd be like, Granny, time me. Now I zoom to the store and zoom back. I just start running all the time, right? So I can see where Keian say the speed thing at, right? But once I got the speed, the rest became history. It was like, hey, this motherfucker is hella fast, right? Keian was faster than me in the beginning when we were younger, but Keian was like one of them ones like,
but
Keian might have been a hold back though, because Keian probably like 43 right now, and I'm still 41. he was like,
I seen that 12-year-old dust you on the hill, man. I think your sprinting days.
No, he was 15, Ken. He was 15. He was 15.
Okay.
Hey,
but 12 made the story sound better.
For him, and for 15 make it sound better for me because I was close to him, right? And I'm old, right? Hey, but that's how the story went. But then we talked about it. We talk about it all the time because I'm like, it's all my fault, Lo. He should have been eligible. And then they only lose to Fremont by like 8 points. And it's like, Lo, you ineligible. Coach Edwards, rest in peace, Coach Edwards. He put me on blast that day. This is where I talked about the newspaper story. Can't remember the newspaper story.
I remember what you're talking about.
Coach Edwards did that with the newspaper, but it started after the Fremont game. But we didn't really have the talent of Fremont junior year team.
Yeah.
To Beatties and Dewey.
I had to pick that game too.
They had people everywhere. Keian having a pick, but it would now if it was on me, it wouldn't have been a pick. It would have been a damn. I got mossed that game. The story would have said I got mossed that game, right?
Hey. I gave up one touchdown in high school, man. And that was to Nevada Union. I remember I was finna go up to make the pick, and my feet just slid right from up under me.
They was good.
Down. Hey, they were really good.
They were.
Hey Kiki, we talked to DeAndre. We talked to a few people on the podcast, and some of the times when we talked about overrated, Dewey name came up, right? Dewey name came up, and we like, bro, Dewey was cool to us, right? But everybody have their version, and then you played in the backfield with Dewey, right? You played in the
Yeah,
backfield with Dewey. You seen Dewey in a different light than what we seen him because y'all played way more games together. What was Dewey
right.
like in that secondary when y'all was in it together?
Man, most thing I can say about Dewey is he used to knock people out, bro. I used, I used to be like, damn. I'm telling you, bro. I'm talking about coming up, boom, stand above, you know what I mean? 2 plays later, here it come again. Boom. You just looking back there like, boy, he ain't coming back in the game. I'm serious. He used to lay people out, man. And he can cover, man. I've seen Dewey do some things that let you know he was a real football player. Punt returns, running the rock, playing fullback, blocking, wide receiver. He was an all around football player.
So I'm gonna ask you like I asked DeAndre, right? Because when I asked DeAndre this, he made this argument for Dewey, but then left him off his secondary
Right, I remember that.
list. Give me your starting 4 secondary members from the time you was at Fremont. Who's starting?
uh, I'm gonna pretty much go with my You talking about all time?
While
From the
you was
time
there,
that you was there, while you was
The
there.
time I was there.
grade to 12th grade.
I would say Tatum at safety, man, because he made a lot of noise. But if I had to move it around, man, I would say Dewey as strong only because his coverage skills was a little bit more on point than Jay Webb. He can
Okay.
cover a lot better than Jay Webb, but Jay Webb just used to come through. You know what I mean? And he was lights out too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is a
He
bullet. He was
he
a bullet.
wasn't slowing down for nothing.
He is a bullet.
And he had a lot of wind. He'd chase you down too. You know what I mean? So, but I would say Tatum at the free, Dewey at strong. Um, I for sure gonna take corner for myself, and at the other corner,
Oh, this is a $1 million question. So now you got DeAndre, you got Dev, you got E. McGowan, you got
yeah,
Walter Abram. Who's that other corner for Kiki's Fremont secondary?
um, I would go with Walt.
Walt. Why would you go with Walt over them guys? What was the final decision that went into that?
He was just a gamer. He just can play, man, and he woke me up. Shit. He woke. They had us. They had him coming off the corner one time. I thought I was in the backfield blocking. I stepped up, man, and I felt myself 360 after running into that dude. I say, oh shit, this how they coming. So that made me not ever take any downs off after that, because I seen the way he was bringing it and he wasn't leaving nothing out, man. He hit me so hard, bro, and I 360s, I was like, damn. So I say, man, he banging hella hard. I didn't even know somebody that big. Like he wasn't, Lord ain't hella big. When he came up and gave it to me, man, he changed my mind as far as hitting go.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. You just started some stuff with the rest of your Fremont teammates.
It's all good.
Kiki,
Coming
this how
to a Facebook post near you.
Kiki, this how it always goes, right? You come with your lineup and who you pick, and everybody feel like, damn, why you didn't pick me? That means you didn't think I was this, or you didn't think I was that.
Hey, but shout out to my dude Moose, man, because I love Moose. Moose was a baller.
Oh, your best friend, man. You ain't put your best friend
shout
in
out. Yeah, shout out to my dude Moose, man.
Hey, man. One of the things is, and Moose was on the team with us. We all had these teams, man. Moose was on my Babe Ruth team with me too. Ruth was on my pal team. He was on my pal team with us too, man. So we had all of these. I had nothing but village people on my teams all the time, whether you're from 69th or 65th. They was on my team. It was the village dude. That only person that ever took my position, Ken,
Who?
was the dude from the village on football. Remember Todd? Remember
Yep.
Todd, Kiki?
Todd.
Todd, he took my position. He was a
Yeah.
football player, kid, and he was like fresh out. And what's the name? He took my position at receiver, bro. Like I can't even name too many.
What grade you was in?
I was in my first year. I was in ninth grade. I was in ninth grade, but he ain't never played football before either, though. He just took my position. I became a corner. I was a corner the rest of the season because of that. You know what I'm saying?
You remember Justin, right?
Quarterback?
Yeah.
Hold on, the quarterback or Wazuzu?
No, the quarterback.
What about him? Yep, white
boy Justin.
What about him?
So Justin was gonna be our quarterback that junior year.
For varsity?
Yeah, man. He played in the game that they played against DeAnza. When DeAnza had them two big boys that was all American.
But bullshit, y'all ran an option offense. He was gonna run that option.
Because you gotta remember, man, they was fresh off of Lou Fisher and JT and Barton, all them. You feel me? And Justin can throw. He can play quarterback.
He could throw.
You know, he could throw. But it was that DeAnza game, man. That DeAnza game, they was lighting his ass up, bro. They was lighting him up, and he quit after that game. Turned everything in. You know, Coach Denny, he no love. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, get your head out your ass, man. You know.
Hold on. Time out. When y'all was trying to run this, right? Because when I looked at it, shout out DeAndre and Tion and them and all of y'all, man, that power eye, wishbone fucking option offense was killing everybody. Y'all was even with y'all line up front, like y'all got good football players that committed to what y'all was doing. Tabiti had no problem being on the line to push it forward. Daryl Akers and Aquarius and them, they had no problem. Tone Siona had no problem, man. Let's go get these 5-6 yards on the line. But that I'm trying to figure out what would this offense look like and who was receiver then when Justin was there. Like, because all of these dudes I've seen was just power running backs, you know?
Yeah, Delmas.
Oh, you do have Delmas. Shout out Delmas.
Yeah, Delmas was raw, man. And who else was there? Was Dre?
Was Dre there yet, or Dre came? Y'all, no,
I think Dre was senior year.
Dre came senior year.
Yeah,
Dre was the senior year.
So, shit.
Y'all didn't really have nothing like that, but Coach Denny was in love with the deep ball that Lou Fisher was throwing.
Right,
like, he made the offense look good.
But Justin can throw though, you know. So,
yeah.
But once they got out there and played the answer, man, they started lighting dude up, man. And Coach Denny wasn't really showing him no love, you know what I mean? Because after you get hit a few times, man, you ain't got that shit. If it ain't in you, you're gonna start tripping, you know what I mean? So once Denny seen that and wasn't really giving him no love, man, cussing him out, he was just like, I'm done.
What was Denny like that with all the players, man? Because Denny really inspired a lot of people, man.
Yeah,
based
man.
on how he was, man. How was Denny with you and your Coach Denny relationship?
He used to be like, Keian, are you high? Now, Denny was cool, man. I had a good relationship with Coach Denny, man. You know, but it's tagging. You know, I didn't got the shit slapped out of my helmet before. You know what I mean? Getting the game. You know what I'm saying? He'll wake you up, but you know, he was all about, you know what I mean, trying to push you to the next level. You know, he was trying to make you more into a man and just a football player. You know, he'd talk to you more about life. You know, because he was connected with the sheriff department and the probation department and all that, him and his wife, you know. So, you know, they was real uplifting as far as the things they was doing and trying to do, but he didn't take no mess. You know what I'm saying? He didn't take no mess. And of course, you know, who don't have their favorites? You know, everybody got their favorites, but Denny was cool, man. I heard the coaches used to say, get a ball to Keian a lot more though, but
Hey, so
I used to hear that a lot.
This round, before we start talking about your senior year and recruiting, because you went and played football. You got a football scholarship, but I know you being this All-American baseball player, you had scouts on your line. Before we talk about that, break down the whole senior year McClymonds thing to us, man. Break down, y'all beat them in the regular season, and then this whole playoff thing. And now we getting the third side. Actually, it's more than three sides. So we had you the second Fremont person to get to speak on it.
Yeah.
We had Dante Marsh, we had E. Cole. On y'all side, we got DeAndre Perty, and now you get to speak on it from your point of view because you didn't play as well. You didn't play,
Right.
or neither did DeAndre play. Break that down for us.
See, me and D Marsh, we kind of lightweight family because one of my brother's best friends is his uncle, and they used to always to hang together, and they end up bringing D Marsh and his brother to the house. So me and D Marsh we knew each other before we got on that field. But the first time we played them, like you said, we beat them during the season. Man, I had over 100 that game. You know, we was busting. It was just like it wasn't like the losing to them in the playoffs was a surprise. You know, because we to me we gave them the business during the season. Come playoff time, what happened was my senior year, man. I had sprained my ankle, man. My ankle around 4 or 5 times. I actually sprained it against y'all. I ran the ball up the middle, and Mike tackled me, and I almost broke his tackle. And he got that leg, you know what I mean? And it was the same ankle I'd been hurting, so I ended up coming out the game that game. And then the very next game, I think it was our last game of the season, we played against Castlemont, man. I was at corner, and then this one I was gaining my confidence when I was coming up I was coming up hitting because, I started realizing that I could bang. So I came up and hit that running back, man. Came up and gave him the juice, and I got up with my ankle hurting. So, the next game was our playoff game against
Mac.
Mac, and I was like, "We gonna beat them," so I could sit out this week, take this week off, to get my ankle right for the Silver Bowl, because I wouldn't have took off if I wouldn't have came up to make the tackle and got up, with my ankle feeling like I just broke it again, so it was just crazy. So I'm like, I need a week off so I can like strengthen my my ligaments and stuff and just be better, get some of the swelling off. So I end up sitting down. But with it's crazy because Devlin had just got hurt. He had just tore his ACL, but like a beast, he played on it. But I was looking more towards he bought out that game too. I think he down there ran one back. But I was looking more forward to the Silver Bowl overlooking Mac, you know what I mean? So with me being hurt, Jay Webb had hurt his knee. And it's funny, me and Jay Webb was we was close, and we rode the bus together, and we was walking home one day, and I was doing some old crazy stuff walking, and he was doing some old crazy stuff walking. He on the other side of the street, and we looking at each other laughing. And next thing you know, my ankle was toe up, his knee was toe up. We like, man, we can't be making fun of the people like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So man, we set out. Then we hear DeAndre ain't got no physical, man.
Shit got real.
So man, it got real quick, But I don't think we found that out to the day of. It was crazy because we like, man, this dude that played the whole season without a physical. Like how we didn't catch that earlier, or you just knew and wasn't saying nothing, and now they probably pushing the line on you. Now it's just like, well, you can't play without a physical. Because I'm like, I kind of put that on Coach Denny too, because you're the coach and you collecting all the paperwork. You know who got physicals and everything, So it just wasn't DeAndre. He was a kid. He was just wanting to play, But that was, man, that was a blow.
Wow. So with the people that y'all were missing, why was it a shock to you that y'all lost to Mac? Because that's missing some really good players. You're missing you, DeAndre, and Jay Webb. That's missing 3 secondary
your quarterback, your running back, and your hard hitting safety.
In your hard hitting safety, right? That's missing some really good players. Why was it shocking?
I just thought we was a better team all the way around. But what it was, sometimes Coach Denny gets stuck on calling them same plays. You know what I mean? We had some raw receivers, man, Andre and Delmas, and they couldn't nobody.
That's a good receiving core.
Right? Couldn't nobody deal with them, bro. And that's how we was finna come into the Silver Bowl because we realized when we had played Skyline, earlier that year, and we had lost 28-14. Our 2 touchdowns was on I think a wide receiver slant to the house, and Dre might have caught one across the middle or a bomb to the house, So we like, oh, they can't deal with our receivers. So I'm like, we're gonna beat their ass next time because we're gonna do
I
some
don't
better.
know though, because Mac had some really good secondary players as well, and Dante, Vach, Ricky Lavender,
Dante, but Emory.
No, y'all could have picked on Emory. You could have picked on Emory, but Emory, but let me tell you something. Emory played 15 yards off the ball. Running by. Rest in peace to Emory too. Rest in peace to Emory,
for sure.
But Emory played 15 yards off the ball, so he wasn't getting beat on the go. Now, what he relied on was, if you catch it in front of me, defense, come get him. Come get him with me, right? So Emory did, like, he had his thing, and he talked a lot of shit, but he always called for the help. give me the help up top. Give me the help up top. They had a good, but I do think that would have been the best way with you guys out to try to exploit that matchup. Try to do that matchup. Did Jamario play y'all senior year too? Was Jamario on the team still? Because we talk about Jamario and what it was like for him after the interception thrown in the Silver Bowl. How did he?
Yeah, he changed. He started drinking a lot, man. And it's I think Mario he was with us the whole year. I think so, because when he was with us, because when Justin didn't want to play quarterback, we was like, Jamario can play quarterback and run the option and everything like that. But once DeAndre came, and he had that option down pat, man, and he could throw. So we didn't understand why our coach didn't let him throw as much, because he could throw, man.
So what was it like for Jamario? And you just said he started drinking a lot. What was it like for him, like coming back to school after almost beating Skyline? And that's like beating Skyline back then is like somebody beating Mac right now, right?
Yeah.
What was it like for him to be this close, and then the interception happened that turned to a touchdown? Did the school, did the fans, did the team, did people blame him for that, or was it all?
No. We felt that was an obvious. It was just obvious that we was going to do something that we didn't do the whole game. You take out the tight end that's been in there blocking the whole time, and you put Jason Dixon at tight end.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So okay, now you done took the tight end. You put in a whole different person.
Hold on, wait, because Ken got to understand this, right? Because Ken don't know. So you took out your big blocking tight end, and you tried to sneak in 150-pound receiver and put him at tight end.
They call a running play,
man, and throw the ball to him.
That's obvious.
Oh, you talking about the last play of the game?
Yeah.
That's why LaCoy, because you can
team
see
ain't stupid,
right? Because you got Jamario trying to throw the ball, So yeah,
man, that's one of the ones. Hey, so OEL baseball wasn't as great. What was it like for you playing OEL baseball and having these scouts that was looking at you come to baseball games in the OEL?
Once it was different, because once Jeff left, we wasn't getting the recognition, and the scouts wasn't coming, because when Jeff left, Mr. Butler came in, So Mr. Butler came in with us. We doing our thing, but there's not too many. He ain't picking up pretty much where Jeff left off. You know what I mean? Because we already got the scouts that know who we are from coming to see Lou pitch, and they just know who we are from doing our Babe Ruth thing and stuff like that too, though. So with me, it was crazy, bro, because I had 3 different coaches all 3 years, and then our senior year, the coach was our security guard. So as far as trying to get scouts out there to come see us play at that point, it was just like, is up in the air. You know, where you go play against somebody else and they out there, but they didn't have the resources or the knowledge to do anything about that because our senior year, you know, Mr. Butler knew a few people, but our coach our senior year was fresh out of the yard being security. You know what I mean? So he just decided to take the job maybe because we didn't have somebody to come coach us. So it was different. You know,
Hey,
it was cool to have the scouts coming, but once Lou left and Jeff left, like pretty much the scouts kind of rolled out too, you know, because you know it wasn't as many. We get a few of them out there, but our coaches wasn't doing what they needed to do to put us in place.
did you get drafted your senior year?
Mm-mm.
You didn't get drafted.
No, I was told by the California Angels because they invited me out in I think it was like maybe in Stanislaus, Stockton, somewhere area. It was me and Shamar. And they invited us out, and I went and I hit up for them in the cage and everything. And they told us, like, you know, they told me they was gonna draft me. They told me they was gonna draft Shamar. And
Was this the same California Angels rep that used to be at the Babe Ruth games?
no, you talk about
Dark skinned
hey,
dude.
he passed away too, though. He passed away. Dale Randall.
The dark skinned dude. Yeah.
I think he passed away, man, because he was real good friends with my grandfather out there. I guess they all went to Contra Costa, man.
Okay. I remember dude,
Yeah.
man. Dude used to have us feeling like we was like about to make it, Ken.
Man,
Like,
period.
man,
Period.
when you 15 and he coming up and talking to you, Ken, he got his California Angel stuff on.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
felt like, you know, he
He
telling
was
us
the
that
manager.
he telling us that he clocking our pitches on how hard we throw. Why you felt like you was like, hey, you know what? Let me quit football because I'm about to go fucking play for the Angels because
Right.
he talking to me, right? That's how
Yeah.
it felt playing for Duke, playing around. That's why you said the California Angels. I'm like, man, was it the same person? So did not getting drafted help with the football decision and when you signed a scholarship?
Not really, you know, because I'm a go where pretty much God is taking, you know. So I was a little disappointed in not getting drafted, but at the same time, you know, I look at all the players that came up before us from our city, you know, and they wasn't laying the foundation the right way. You know, a lot of them was going to get their money and coming home, you know. So we had a bad rap. You know, Oakland had a bad rap when it came to Major League Baseball, man. So you know that kind of I think messed with that era, you know, and it picked up again, you know, as far as when TT and them started playing, you know, but yeah, we was kind of messed up from the guys before us just going to get that money and coming home, you know.
So what all schools was recruiting you in football, and for what position? Were they recruiting you at running back, or they recruiting you at corner? Recruiting you at corner.
Yeah. Sac State was like the only school that recruited me at corner, you know, and man, story, man, crazy story. So I cut class one day, man. You know, it was first period. So I cut first period, didn't go. And I went and got high with my partners, man. I got high. And I don't think I had drunk nothing. But I went to class, man, second period, and I'm sitting in class. Denny walked into class. I'm like, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I ain't did no Visine or nothing. So I'm looking over here at Denny. And I see him look at me. I see the teacher look at me. They like, so I go up and holler at coach. He say, hey man, got some people here to talk to you in the conference room. I'm like, all right, you know, but now I'm feeling crazy, bro, because I'm fresh off of like 2 or 3 of them, you know. So I'm like this, you know what I'm saying? We walking down the hallway. See, this is another thing with I say Denny could have did some things different because we walking down the hallway. So he looked at me, he like, Keian, you high? I'm like, shit, yeah. You know what I mean? But instead of going back in there and saying like he can't get out of class right now, you know, that nigga still send me in there to talk to him, bro. High in the motherfucker, blood. He say, you know what that scout said, Keian? I was like, well, he was like, he wanted to know if any of my players had drug problems.
Hey, who was it? What team?
Come on, coach.
What team? What school was it?
That was Idaho State. You know what I mean? So I was getting like love. I had some paperwork from Cal. Davis, just schools pretty much in this area, man. I wasn't getting like, or in New Mexico State, I wasn't getting to in Hawaii. It wasn't too much.
But all of them was running backs though, for running back.
Yeah, besides Sac State. But Sac State kind of like, kept the pressure. You know what I mean? Once they brought that letter of intent and wasn't nobody else bringing no letter, you know what I mean? I'm going to sign my name, and make sure I'm in, because I don't want to graduate and be in the hood.
Right.
So,
absolutely. How did it go when you got there though? Did you were you done with, when you get to Sac State, were you done with baseball altogether, or did you try to do both?
You got that systematic thing going on in baseball, man. So when I get to and plus I didn't have nobody speaking for me, So when I get to I'm pretty sure the Sac State baseball coach knew who I was, So when I call him, I should have had like somebody calling for me. But I gave him a call, and I'm telling him I want to come out and play. I got a football scholarship, and they're not gonna let you play football. I'm like, they gonna let. He's like, they're not gonna let you play baseball, and I'm like, they're gonna let me play because I already, told him what I do. That I play baseball too. So he was like, oh man, what position you play? I'm like, center field, outfield. I got all my outfielders already. But with me, I'm cocky. I'm my confidence. So you telling me you got players, I'm not gonna go sit behind nobody. So I tell him, I'm pretty sure you got one, but I'm pretty sure he ain't better than me. So, but them folks don't like you talking like that, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he was gonna make sure I didn't play. So it's crazy because I ended up sitting out that year of baseball low. And after Sac State in that 1 year corner, man, you wouldn't have been able to touch me after that year. I'm telling you, boy. I'm telling you, boy. But
you're right. Hey, that year you might be right, because once you was already stronger than me, you got on a weight, you got a university weight program. You a little different, right? And
you learn a lot. Mm-hmm.
And then that year with myself, I'm ineligible again. I'm ineligible again. I gotta wait to play again. You probably would have had me that year. Now your Chabot year,
I'd have locked you down. I would have locked you down.
You would have got tortured.
You better ask about me. You better ask about me, man. I had. Let me tell you. You know who our Chabot receivers was?
SB them.
Shiny Bobo was like. And we had.
Oh no. But was SB on y'all team? No.
Yeah. Sonny Bo was on our team. Yeah, we had Marvin Brown. He went to University of Arizona. Then we had his cousin Melvin, the kick return specialist. They was from Wilsey Wood. Then we had my boy Frazier. He ended up going to Indiana with Randall L. So he was up there with them. But boy, them boys was bad. I mean, bad. You know what I mean? Hey, you know what I used to do to them, right?
Yeah. So let me tell you something. So here's the thing, right? This what made the whole, that when we talk about Chabot, Laney, right? So I believe the two corners I played against the most in practice was some of the best ones I played against, right? I had Mario Vital. Mario could play some corner and shit like that. He was physical. And then it was Jarrell Hardy. Remember Jarrell Hardy, Ken?
Of course.
So Jarrell Hardy was long and he was fast too, right? He was long and he could run, right? So me prepping them, I was giving everybody else the business, right? In league. Only corner that was able to lock me up was the corner from Ken School. They had little dude, short little corner, Damien, but they kept Kev over top of Damien. So it was like once I beat Dame off the line, Kev was coming up. Like they didn't give a shit, which is why our running back ran for 200 yards that game, right? Y'all too busy worried about trying to stop this.
The same play. Over the same play.
He ran for 200 yards. So Kiki, I go back to say, I say all that to say, once that happened, I got into that where really we got time to throw the ball. I don't care if you have Marcus Brown, Walter Brown, or Tim Brown.
Hey,
Low and
hey,
foe.
hey, I'm just going. Hey, but another thing is the skills I had developed just that 1 year at Sac State. You know what I mean? It's just totally different from what you're getting at JC. You know, when you on that level, it's just what they teach you and all the stuff they showing
Way
you is
different.
totally different.
Oh,
You know,
definitely, definitely.
so as far as when I got to Chabot, it was like I'm coming down on, you know what I mean, a few levels. You know what I mean, coming from Sac State and Chabot. So it was just like I had to talk to myself. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, I don't want to play down to the level I'm on. You know what I mean? Because I was just on a different level, especially at corner. Man, it was Loctite, bro.
How did you do in season, and did you go anywhere else after the Chabot experience?
After the Chabot experience, it was funny because Sac State told me I can come back, but I don't know if they was mad that I played one season at Chabot. So right after the season, we called them. We like, so you know, the coach got in touch with their coach. You know, Keian Davis said, you know,
we missing something. Why did you leave Sac State?
Let's get into that.
Yeah, we can't go to why you went back without talking about why you left.
Okay. Well, most of it was academics.
Okay.
But academically, things can be fixed. You know what I'm saying? You just pull your bootstraps up and get in your books and do what you're supposed to do. You know, but man, me being from Oakland and not really having a father figure behind me that could speak, you know, it was a coach on the staff, and his name was I think it was like John Wiley. He used to play for the Dallas Cowboys, bro. He was the only black coach we had on the Sac State staff, you know, and he acted as if he was looking out for me and things like that, you know, man. So when I first got out, I was balling, you know, so I was already second team at corner before the season even started. So once by the fourth game of the season, it landed on my birthday. I remember the fourth game of the season, I became the starter. And passing up all that, I had a good year, man. I made first team honorable mention. I had 2 interceptions. I had one in Montana, University of Montana. I ran it back for 58 yards, didn't get in the end zone, but I had another one for 95 yards at Cal State Northridge, which ended up being their stadium record before they stopped their football program. So, but it was looking up. Then we had my boy at tailback. His name was Charles Roberts up there at Sac State. Man, this dude was an animal. He was like the new Barry Sanders coming out. I ain't never seen nobody run like that besides Barry Sanders. But the coaches was cool, man. It was just you deal with your players, you can't deal with them all the same way. If you're gonna be a good coach, you gotta learn how to deal with each one individually, because you know what you say ain't gonna affect them the same way. You know, so one particular instance, we was me, my roommates, Emory, we had like maybe a day off, man. We took that day off. We rode out to Fresno State, went to see the Beatty and Bach and Marty, Dante and everybody. We go out there and kick it, you know what I mean? We stay a little bit too late, so we don't end up leaving until like maybe 2 in the morning to come back. We got workouts at 6, you know what I mean? So we get back to the workouts, you know, we in a locker room, but you know, I'm still tired, no sleep. So I'm over like in the corner with my hoodie on, like about right here. You know, ain't no coaches said nothing, but that one coach called me out. Keian, scoot out. I'm like, all right, it's all good. I scoot out. So you know, we doing our workouts in the morning and stuff, man, So when people was doing stuff wrong, they making people stay over like a punishment, you know. So the coach tell me after everybody done with workout, like, you gotta stay over. You know what I mean? And like I'm in trouble. Instead of just saying, man, I want to work you out some more. you know what I mean, and come out here and put some more work in. He got at me like I did something wrong and didn't tell me what I did wrong. So I walk away from him. I'm in a locker room, man. I'm talking to my boy, man. You know, and I'm doing a little cursing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, you know, I don't know why he acting like I did something wrong. He want me to stay, you know. So he's around the corner listening. So he run back to the head coach and tell the head coach I didn't cuss him out.
Cold.
I'm talking directly. He's not even in the room no more, as far as I know. I'm talking to my roommate and my other boys, you know, because I'm like, I gotta stay over, but I'm heated because he's making it seem like I gotta stay over because I'm being punished. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm being punished for. I didn't do nothing, you know. So I'm gonna stay over. You know, it ain't like I'm not gonna stay, but I'm just kind of heated about it. But he went and told the coach I cussed him out, man, and that was one instance. And it was another instance, man. When I first got there, they put me with this roommate. His name was Keian Davis, you know. So, you know, same last name. I'm thinking we're gonna get along, but he was lazy, man. He was just a big lazy dude. He was a defensive lineman. And this dude used to not go to school and just stay in his room. I guess he was going through like depression, you know, maybe being away from home or not. But dude used to always, man, he'd go pee, bro, and miss the toilet, you know. So he peeing all on the floor. So I flashed on him, but then I ended up moving out. But when I moved out, he had owed me some money and stuff, you know. So I'm asking him about the money. He like, yeah, my mama gonna see you the money this weekend. I'm like, cool. So I go home for the weekend. When I get back on Monday, and I got a envelope in the mailbox, right? So I'm thinking it's my money that this dude owed me. Man, I'll pull it out. It's a list. It's a list of hell of stuff, bro. His mama saying I owe them. Low.
They saying you
You
owe
lost it. I know. I already know you
Man,
lost
they
it.
saying I owe money on PG&E. I owe money for the water machine. Like all this stuff, man.
Hold on. Y'all was in apartment housing. Y'all wasn't in dorms.
No, we was in apartment housing.
Okay, for the
right. If you know Sac State, right across the river, they got them apartments. They pretty much like dorms. Yeah,
okay.
but we was in those houses.
Y'all gotta pay y'all own PG&E and stuff.
Man, so man, I get that list. You already know. I seen I'm on my way to class. He just be happening to be walking. I say, Craig, man, what's this that your mama sent me in the mail, man? You know, he like, I don't know. I'm like, man, why is she saying I owe you all this stuff? Because I would give him, because the stuff was in his name, so I give him the money to pay for the stuff. He wasn't paying for it, bro. So I'm like, this dude told his mom, because I told him, I say, Greg, where I'm from, people get their ass beat and shit like this. You know what I mean? But I didn't push up on him, but I just told him, like, bro, like, this is crazy. Like, people get their ass whooped for shit like this, man. So he went back, told his mama. His mama went back, called the coaches. But what she told the coach was I had a gun.
Wow.
So when I first moved in, bro, I had a little broken 22 in the shoebox. It was broke, didn't work, you know, and I guess the lid ended up coming off the shoebox and he seen it. But it ain't never been pulled out, never nothing. So, but just the time I moved in, he set eyes on it. So, you know, he told his mama, I'm scared he got a gun. You know what I mean? And bro, crazy, man. The coaches called me in. You know, they like, you got a gun? I'm like, yeah, it's a toy. You know, it's a replica. You know, they get rid of it. I'm like, I'll get rid of it. You know, like it ain't nothing. But that was another black mark on me. You know, just on some BS like that. So me and my mama set up a meeting with him and his mom. You know, and it was just like, why would you tell the coaches I had a gun? Like, you know. And she really didn't have no answer for it. So she was trying to get me kicked off the team. So everything just kind of went downhill from that point, man.
But when you came back, what happened with you trying to go back there? You were saying after you left your boat, y'all made the call to come back. So what was the verdict on that?
Man, so this is one of the decisions. You know how people say you regret stuff? I don't regret it, but I just think I should have did it differently. Because when they told me I couldn't come back. But my boy E, who was my roommate down there, you know what I mean? He was getting it in that corner. And I bought out the corner the year before. So it was like, man, with both of us at corner, like secondary is gonna be shut down, you know. So he went and hollered at the head coach, you know, and played for me. And the head coach was like, yeah, you can come back. So I went and talked to the head coach, and sat down in the room with him and talked to him, you know, and he told me a few things. And I went and talked to my uncle about it. And I was like, yeah, Sac State said I can come back. Well, you know, I'm gonna be on my scholarship. But he was like, all right, but the coach was just like, you know, you gotta earn your position back. You know, it's not gonna just be given to you. That's what I've been doing my whole life, right? Yeah. Taking people positions. But my uncle say, man, it sounds like they on some funny stuff. You shouldn't go back. And I took the advice of my uncle. And that was that.
That's one of those. If I would have done differently, I would have just went and just showed that I don't need you to give me the position. Ain't nothing funny.
It's my position anyway. That's why they had me come back. They knew it was mine.
Yeah, that's one of those. So one of the things I talked to my son about, and about, you know, who are you taking advice from? Right. What kind of advice is being given? Who are you taking advice from? Right. So this is the thing, we talk about it a lot. Like with, you know, that father figure role, right? Mm-hmm. So your father figure is supposed to always look out for your best interest. They give you like, so I always tell people all the time, right? If I have a problem, what's the proposed solution, right? Don't just give me a problem without a solution. So if it's like, hey, Key, I think they bullshit with you, what's the solution we gonna put forward with that, right? Because if I ain't got no other solution, whether y'all bullshitting with me or not, I'm going.
There. I ain't
got nothing else. What the fuck else I'm about to do, right? Mm-hmm. Problem, propose, solution, right? Don't just tell me what the problem is. I think they playing without giving me a solution. We got to always make sure, and all of the kids, any high school kids that watch it, man, make sure that you know who the people is that's giving you advice that you're going to follow, right?
Amen.
Sometimes people give you advice of some shit that they never went through before, never been through before, and it become bad advice, right? Not like you said, it would be not regretting, but I wish I'd done something different.
Right.
I wish I didn't went through it, right?
Now my partner mad at me, you know what I mean? Because he like, man, I done went in here and hollered at the coach and got it good, and you telling me you ain't coming?
You ain't coming?
Right.
Where you end up, did you have something else lined up?
So New Mexico State was on me at that point because the last game of the season we played against Sac City in a bowl game, balled out. I told the team because they had played me, bro, at Chabot. They had gave me second team instead of first team. You know, I had like 2 interceptions, 85, 90 tackles, you know, because they used to have me rolled up a lot, pretty much coming up to run, and they didn't throw the ball my way too much because they already knew what was up, you know. So they put me on second team, bro. So I was mad, and they was like, well, you know, you can win this at the bowl game. And I stood up and I said, I'm gonna win the defensive player of the game. I bet you. You know, went out there, balled out, won the defensive player of the game. True story, bro. My nigga Moose stood up. Like, he told y'all. And then had tears coming. That's the first time I seen my partner, and he stood up. He was mad because of how they did him. You know what I mean? So he stood up, bro. Tears come out his eyes. Like, my nigga told y'all he was gonna win that thing. I mean, so New Mexico State was on me, and they was like, but I didn't have my AA because I was fresh out of Sac State, so I would have had to do another year of school to get my AA or to transfer there, and then Minot State was on me from North Dakota, I think it was.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Minot. So they calling me, They like, they say you come right now. We'll give you all your money for both semesters. You'll be our kick returner, our punt returner, our starting corner, and you can leave after the football season, right? That's what they told me, bro. Wow. I say, wow, let me think about it, man. Let me think about it. So, man, true story, man. I was sitting in church and I was praying on it, man. I was praying on it. And God told me not to go. He was just like, don't do it. And then my partners that went, they came home like, boy, that was the best decision you ever made. I know.
When they begging you to come like that let you know right there.
Man, they out there practicing in snow.
And they know we coming from California. We gonna leave after football season anyway.
Hey, but that was interesting to know because I didn't know that. And maybe both of y'all just let me know. So once you go D1 to a university and then you bounce back to a JC, you have to have your AA degree before you go to another university.
Unless you're going back to the same university.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
I mean, because Ken, when you left, did you have to have your AA before you went back to the university? Well, you know, but Ken, when we left, we went to an open enrollment college. So it was
now I don't know all the rules because like shit, I didn't even know about the clearinghouse until second semester senior year. So I don't know all the specifics, but I didn't know that. I'll just say that I didn't know that.
That's a good question because we wonder why. And now that I think about it, because it'd be easy if I went to a D1, then I bounced back to a JC, played 1 year, and then was gone, right? Because you think once that clock start ticking and you got to play another year at JC, that's like you in year 3 now, right?
Yeah.
See, I think those units, those credits from your D1 school, do like because you're in general ed. So I think
they line up with them.
Yeah, they count. But shit, let's just say I didn't have the credits to line up.
So it's crazy because I dealt with it with baseball because once everything really didn't line up with me for football, I jumped back into baseball 1 year at Chabot. So I played 1 year at Chabot. But bruh, and this was crazy because it was like at this point, my football, I was so in tune with football and my skill level had just jumped, like especially after my JC year. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I got this corner thing down. You know what I mean? Like once I get the other little teachings that I need, it's over. So man, once I got to once I that didn't work out, I went to Chabot and played a little baseball with they got a name brand coach. His name was Stephen Friendly, but he didn't really know who I was, because once I left the baseball scene, bro, it was like all the scouts, like, cause when I came back, all these scouts asking me like, where you been? I'm like, man, I had a scholarship when I went and played football, and I've been playing football for the last 2 years. So now I'm 19, 20 years old. In baseball, that's looked at like you old almost. Too old to be getting drafted, you know what I mean? Unless it's some special circumstances and things like that. So it was crazy, but with the AA, I had got after I left Chabot because the guy he didn't let me play and he really didn't work on my skills. And then all my boys was over there at Contra Costa College, man. So that's when I went over there and played at Contra Costa with Tavaro and Emil and who else was over there? Big Sean, and we was all over there. And I did 2 years of baseball at Contra Costa. And that's why I said I couldn't go to Sonoma State until my AA degree was all the way complete. Because once I went to Contra Costa and did 2 years, I changed my major up a little bit. So I just did everything, but I still have like my GEs and everything ended up lining up, and I ended up going to Sonoma State for baseball.
That's dope.
Yeah, man, I had no regrets. Some decisions I say I could have made different. But as far as being able to, do things, travel, go play, like what I was saying was I was so in tune into football, I didn't think I was going to play baseball no more. So mentally, I put it somewhere else. So when I got back into baseball, bro, my timing wasn't the same.
That's what I was about to ask
Davis
you.
Timing.
That's what I was about to ask you, because when you can't take time off of baseball.
Especially not taking mental time off to where you ain't even thinking it no more.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get back in that box,
Right.
Yeah, ooh, shit. You got
So I
holes in it.
still had the skill. I still could see the ball, but my timing was different.
Yeah.
So I had to, instead of being swagged out while you up there, I had to slow everything down, man, and make pretty much reteach myself, how to hit good like I used to hit, but it was without the power now, so I had to really break it down to where it's just 1-2. I'm here, I'm stepping and I'm swinging. It was no more movement because it'll throw my swing off, so but I ended up hitting 297 my first year back. That's the lowest I ever hit in my life. My first year back in baseball after 2 years at Contra Costa, I hit 297. Plus my best friend had died. Rest in peace, Mar. You know what I mean? He had got killed. So that was he got killed. He was the first murder in Oakland in 2000.
Wow.
Yeah, and a strange but crazy thing about that is my brother's best friend was the second murder in Oakland in 2000. So I had just lost my best friend, and my brother lost his best friend 30 minutes later. 1 and 2 in the new murders of the millennium.
Damn.
So yeah, so that was a crazy thing going on with me. So that year was kind of a wash, because I was going through so much. So the next year, my I guess you can call it my sophomore year of baseball, I ended up hitting 446.
Damn.
Yeah. So I raised my average 200 points, or probably 150 points. And
Was Willie McGee yet?
yeah, he was coming out, working out with us and everything. Well, I mean, look, Willie throwing me some batting practice, right? I get in there. He used to call me Young Blood. Come on, get in there, Young Blood. I'm like, all right. I get in there. He give me one, whop, right back up the middle, right? He throw me another one, whop, right back up the middle. He said, get out of there, Young Blood. You ready?
250.
But he was like, he told me, he was like, man, you remind me of Ray Langford. You remember Ray Langford used to play for the Cardinals?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that's what he told me. He was like, man, you remind me of Ray Langford so much, man. I was like, that's what's up. But Pittsburgh worked out. Me and Dane had us coming. Dane Broadnax.
Dane. Yeah.
Yeah. He Pittsburgh had us working out with them, and the scout actually told me they was gonna draft me too after my second year at Contra Costa, but didn't draft me. Ended up getting recruited by Sonoma State. Went up there and played 2 years. The highest we got ranked was number 3 in the country. When I was starting center field up there and got to the regionals, like 1 game away from the College World Series.
Hey, nice. I got a question for y'all, just y'all opinion, right? What do you think the recruiters on a percentage scale to 100%? What do you think the percentage of a recruiter's words mean when they talking?
About the scouts?
The scouts. What do their word mean on a percentage scale?
Not the local scouts.
Not the locals.
I don't think
they can tell you anything, but them next level ones is the ones who really make the decision.
Yeah.
Okay, because you had the California Angel Scouts say we gonna pick you up. You had the other scouts say we gonna pick you up. Like that just sound like
they just write a report and fax it in.
Yeah.
And then somebody else will take a look at you.
Right. So you imagine if we was all 3 scouts, and I in my region I got 2-3 players I want y'all to look at. In your region you got 3-4 players, and Low got players, so forth, so on. And we got to bring them all to the table so somebody can make the decisions on who we want.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
but they put it out to the athlete like we're gonna take you.
Yeah, we gonna take you.
That sound cold, man. That sound cutthroat.
That's crazy,
man. That seems like this.
It's a cold game. It's a cold game for sure.
But we said scouts, like those scouts, recruiters, they all in the same thing. That's why I say get up. That's why I say, what percentage does we think? I'm like,
I don't think they have no say.
Man, it's 50 and below.
Yeah,
that's what I can say. Because 50 either is gonna work or it ain't. You know
right,
what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, good, man. Hey, that's good to know, man. So, Key, as we get ready to get up out of here, man, we always ask our guests, man, to give our viewers some parting words, man. Say something for our viewers.
Oh man, to the young viewers, man, just never give up. You know, if you want something, you got to go get it. You can't really take no shortcuts to trying to get it. It takes hard work, man. Anything that's gonna pay off in the long run is gonna take some hard work. So you can't take shortcuts. You got to give it everything you got, because if you don't, when you done, it's gonna bring some thoughts in your head that you don't want. So you just go 100, man. Go 100 and use all your resources that you can. If it's some people out there that want to help you get to where you gotta go, and they got the ability to help you, and they got the knowledge to help you, then let them help you.
Absolutely. And I want to add to that what you just said, man. Make sure you find someone that can mentor you on
Yes, sir.
someone that been there before, right?
Yes,
Someone
sir.
that's been there before. There's a lot of people give advice on stuff they never done before, right? They don't
Yep.
even know what it takes to get you to that point, right? Make sure you get with someone that been through what you've been through before and take advice from them, someone that's been there already, right? I
Yes,
talked
sir.
about this a lot with Dante Marsh. Me and Dante Marsh talk about this a lot of times. Like, hey, Dante, you've been through all the levels. You know a lot more than what it is someone that haven't, right?
Yeah.
Your advice means a lot more than someone that never did
Yep.
it before, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's like to sit up on draft day and not have your name get called. But
Man.
someone else that been through draft day and didn't have their name get called knows a lot, can give you more advice on how that whole process works. So once again, man, thanks Kiki for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure. We already
Man,
know what would have
likewise.
happened if we ever had the low versus key matchup, because even though you never hit me out, your batting average ain't no down 497 against me. It might be 297 against me.
long out, long
A
out.
whole bunch of long
Hey, now
outs.
that sound like Coach Jeff. It ain't nothing but a long strike when they.
No. It was a long out. Hey,
out.
rest in peace, Trav saving me, man.
Man,
Getting
for
hit
sure.
out, them bombs, running things down. Rest in peace, Marv, man.
Yes, sir.
Because Marv was
Pac-Man.
one of the ones that Pac-Man. I had a lot of rivals with Marv because Pal and Fudging was always in the same division. So we
Yeah.
always played them twice from minors all the
Yeah.
way up, man. So a lot of rivals, man. I remember he got the name Pac-Man because reason they called him Pac-Man because he used to you couldn't get nothing by him at either
Eat it
third
up,
base or
huh?
shortstop, right? Eat him
Yep.
up, Pac-Man, because anything get hit to him was almost an out, right? So
Yeah, for sure.
shout out to Marv, man. And Mike, man. We was like, we had the little Babe Ruth family for a minute, man. Marv,
Yeah,
Mike,
man.
Marvin's brother Mike, Shamar, BJ, they was
Yeah.
all on that little same team that was coming
Yeah.
up, man. So shout out to them dudes. We got the crazy thing is we can find them games on YouTube. BJ
I've
have
seen
posted
them.
the games on YouTube. The all card fudge and rivalry was posted on YouTube. So it's good to go back and check those things out, man. But Kiki, appreciate you coming on, bro.
Yeah,
Man,
thanks.
likewise,
Learned
man.
a lot.
Hey, Lo, what I was gonna tell you, man, I got tired of sitting and waiting on them damn calls from them scouts on the draft. The few days for the draft. You know what I mean? Your phone's supposed to ring and it never ring, man. Yeah. Draft came around. I was just like, man, I'm going outside. I'm out.
Outside, right?
They
I
call,
remember
they don't, man.
Hey, but I think, and we talked before I let you get out of here, Key. We talked about this with Mikey. We talked about this with Bob. The fact that you guys are so good in both sports, scouts don't know what sport you guys going to end up and pick. So it's
Right.
like, do I waste my draft choice on this person that's going to go pick football anyway, right?
Yes,
draft
sir.
he's going to go be like, hey, I'm picking football, so now I'm out of a draft when I could have drafted a player that's going to be in our farm system next spring, So I think that we talked about that with Bob. We talk about it all the time with Mike, and now you like that baseball good and baseball great and football great can have a hindrance when you're not choosing one sport, right?
Yeah,
because
for sure.
like you said, that whole system, the whole timing. Bob talked about the timing too. When Bob went to go play at Fresno, he like, dude, my timing wasn't the same. I wasn't a feared hitter as much, So definitely, man, I think that have a thing. I'm thinking from a person that if I had to draft somebody, I want to draft someone that, hey, I know you about to be you picking
that's
football.
real.
You
That's
pick,
real.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that
Like,
makes a
I
lot of
always
sense. Though.
say, man, I would have chose baseball over football.
You would have chose
But
baseball over
my
football?
like my partners around me though, the ones that seen me play football after high school, they was like, bro, like, you know, it's like, man, like, man, we thought you was going to the NFL. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
yeah.
Hey, before you go, I got to get you out of here, man. This is one start bench cut because I got to do this start bench cut, right? Power hitters, a start bench cut, right? These are all power hitters, right? You got Mike Denard,
Yeah.
you got Two Bob, and you got Sean Wilson. Shawnee Bo. Start one, bench one, cut one.
Ooh. Damn, boy. All right, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm starting Bobo.
Starting Sean,
I'm benching Mike. I'm cutting Bob.
Was Sean, because Sean's a little bit older than me. I know Sean is like a damn good defensive catcher. Was he smashing bombs like
Yeah,
that?
that was smashing.
I
Hey,
Smashing.
Hey,
I
so
remember him
we-
being like a hell of a catcher.
Smashing.
So I think I would have did this. I think I would have did the same order, but I would have start Mikey and I would have benched Sean and would have cut Two
My
Bob.
bad,
Hey,
Sean. My bad, Sean. I didn't know.
No. Hey, when we was 14, Sean hit it over the overpass at San Leandro Ballpark.
Damn.
Like the overpass.
I didn't know
Hey,
Sean
listen
was
to me.
smashing like
Only
that.
for the umpire to say foul ball. Right? The reason I'm going Mikey, man, in that home run thing, because I watched him hit it out of the Coliseum and Candlestick back-to-back nights. Right. That's like hella unimpressive, right? I mean, that's hella impressive, right?
For sure.
Bob is dingers. Bob go hit some shots. Like you don't want to be that second baseman when Bob turn on the pitch. Like that motherfucker might knock your teeth off, right? And Sean was like, if you can pitch Sean inside, you kind of like got him if you get him up against his hands, right? If he turn on your pitch,
goodbye.
Exactly. If he turn on your pitch.
So you just made me think, bro. Leonard hit me out.
Leonard Lofton?
Out of Skyline, though.
Yeah, that's a pop fly, though.
That's McConnell left field.
That's a pop fly at any other field, bro. Come on, man. That's a pop fly.
Don't hate on Lynn, though. Don't hate on Lynn.
You know what? I don't want to steal. Hey, you know what? I can't steal. He hit you out. I can't steal Lynn glory because it's like folklore to say now I hit Keian out, right? For the rest of my life, I hit Keian out, right? Anybody that hit, that's like hitting Jimmy out. You talk about hitting Jimmy,
Right.
you talk about that shit to this day, right?
You can hit it out of McConnell
sure,
left field. You can hit it out of McConnell with the tip of your bat.
Yes, sir.
Skyline too. Skyline was just a
Yeah,
big.
Skyline too.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
Skyline,
I hit it out of Skyline with one hand.
You can bunt.
Inside.
You can bunt it out of
Yeah,
Skyline.
you feel me? Inside slider, I was just trying to fight off, and it went out.
Hey man, Key, appreciate bringing and talking to you, bro.
For sure, man.
All right, we
a
have
pleasure.
you later.
All right, love, for sure. Have a good one, Ken.
All right,
You too, brother.
man. Hey man, every time we do interviews, Ken, I'm like learning some shit. Like I'm learning. Like I didn't even know the whole Kiki and the Sac State back to Chabot, none of that stuff, right? We've been friends since we were 12, you know.
Wow.
It's always good to get dudes on to hear their story, man, because I'm like, hey, did you go play after this? After that, you know?
Right.
Always good to hear them stories, man. So thanks for coming on, Kiki, and sharing your story with us, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. So that's a wrap for another episode of the Rec Center Podcast. Again, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. You can follow us on Instagram at the Rec Center Podcast. Also, follow us or subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Rec Center. I'm Kenny Edwards for Lorenzo Parham. We out.